Call the meeting to order. We'll start off. I know it's not the warmest in here and people have things to do. Thank you for coming. And we'll just introduce ourselves up here. Start with Celeste.
I'm Celeste. We're about everybody you have.
I'm
Brett Sharman from UNAP. And Millie will be translating to Spanish.
Yeah, I'm translating Spanish. Unless everybody speaks English, it's up to them.
What is translating Spanish? If anybody speaks only Spanish?
No, it's okay. I can do both. It's okay.
We should ask.
No, it's okay.
¿Alguien no habla inglés aquí?
Yeah, there's at least two.
Oh, dos personas. Okay.
How you doing?
Now, could I ask a question?
Usted no habla
You
inglés.
have a camera. You have a camera there. Is it on?
Yes, it is on, and yes, I am filming.
Well, I want to tell everybody that I'm not comfortable with being filmed. I'm not going to insist that he turns it off, but I think it's appropriate to ask if there's anybody here who does not feel comfortable being filmed.
Well, this is an open.
You do not, okay.
Yeah, but it's going forward, and there is no expectation of privacy because we are in a public
It
space.
records audio and video, so
Correct.
it doesn't matter that it's going forward.
That's fine. There is camera all over the building. I just
That's
want.
the debate. It was a question and answer. And let me try this. So, él dijo que tiene una cámara que está puesta y él no va a insistir que se pague, pero lo que él quiere es más que saber que si alguien está incómodo con tener la cámara puesta. Eso es una pregunta sí.
Excuse me? Why am I recording? Because if I have to go to court and I have to get statement, I want to have a camera with the statement so I can use in court at a later time.
I would challenge your recording only because I don't trust you and I don't trust
Well, we know we don't trust you and I don't trust you either. So we're done.
So we stopped because the answer that the question was answered. And it was one question on the table, una pregunta en la mesa. Que si alguien estaba incómodo con el tener la cámara. Le contaron que la mayoría no está incómodo. So vamos a seguir. So because everyone, the majority is not uncomfortable with him having the camera, we will proceed.
Well, let's take a vote. We can really take a vote. Let's take a vote.
No, there is no vote to be taken.
Well, sure there is.
Come on, let him make it go on.
Theo is insisting that he has a right, whether we want him to or not,
That's
to
right.
film the proceedings. So,
Theo dice-
therefore, we will move ahead with it duly noted, everybody witnessed that we are not comfortable, I'm not comfortable, other people are not comfortable with being filmed, and I think we resent it.
That's
Okay,
fine.
so nosotros queremos, vamos a seguir la reunión, como se da lugar, pero queremos que las ministras indiquen que no estamos cómodos con tener una cámara y filming us, con una cámara, que no estamos cómodos con ese proceso, simplemente.
Moving ahead, there's an agenda.
Hay una agenda.
So we're first going to do an update on the rehabilitation work in Celeste.
Hi, everybody. I think a lot of the same faces were here last Thursday, I believe. I can't remember if it was Tuesday or Thursday. I think it was Thursday. And saw the G-line apartments. So everybody was able to see a G apartment, a G1, and a G2. And as was probably clear to most people, the G1 and the G2 are nearly finished, and the G has some additional things to be done in the bathroom and the floors, but is nearly complete as well. The major piece of work that needs to be completed, although it's not really much like a piece of work, the gas just needs to be turned back on by Con Edison. So we, as you have, and MPG are doing everything we can to make sure that that happens as soon as possible. Once the gas is turned back on, people can move back into the apartments.
Hold on, Celeste.
Oh, sure, sorry. Forgot to
No, ella simplemente dice que también la misma cara que la línea G1 y la línea G2 está casi terminada, pero le faltan cosas para hacer, y la línea G le faltan también cosas para hacer. Casi todo está terminado, pero lo más importante que hace falta es el gas. Y se está trabajando, MDG está trabajando muy fuerte con Canadian para que él ponga el gas, porque el gas, ellos tienen que aprobar el gas. So, lo que estamos esperando es que el Canadian apruebe el gas, que pongan el gas.
We'll actually be doing punch list walkthroughs with the architect this week. So that's essentially, like I said, the work is nearly done, which is it's a big hurdle to get through that. And then in early December, we'll do walkthroughs with every resident in the G1, G2, and G apartments to go through the rehab with them and see if they have any remaining concerns or issues. So a reminder. Okay, please go ahead.
So ella dice que ya para la semana que viene.
It's like this week before Thanksgiving.
Okay, para la semana que viene. Para la semana que viene va a haber un walkthrough y van a tener en papel que se pone todo en el papel lo que hace falta y lo que no hace falta, para que todos los inquilinos que están en la línea G puedan ver su apartamento y se puedan indicar lo que falta o lo que no falta, ¿sabes? Que todo esté perfecto.
And then, so in early December, right after Thanksgiving, we'll walk through the apartments. I guess I said that with every G1 and G2 resident. What I was going to add is, if people want to see their apartments before then, I know there's not too much time before Thanksgiving, but people should reach out to Jeffrey or Suzette from MBG and set up an appointment if you're in the G line. And if it's any time during the day, they'll be happy to show you your apartment themselves.
So, durante el día, si ustedes quieren ver si alguna persona, vamos a hacer que todo el mundo vea su apartamento, estamos hablando de los apartamentos que están rehabilitando, ¿verdad? En los apartamentos G. Que si quieren verlo, lo van a ver en diciembre, pero si alguien quiere ver su apartamento después de Thanksgiving, si alguien quiere ver su apartamento ahora, que se lo deje saber durante el día a Jeffrey o a Suzette. Ellos están dispuestos, no hay problema, que lo pueden ver.
And so as people know, the E-line is next. So we've been in touch with all the E-line residents several times to go over the scope of work and make sure that we've answered any questions and that they feel comfortable. We're going to reach back out to everybody in the E-line once we're certain of exactly when we're going to start the work and the G-line residents start moving back to just go over things one final time to make sure that we've answered any remaining questions.
So, ya saben que la próxima línea es la línea E y ya se hizo ya se llama un walkthrough, cuando el contratista y ellos van a su apartamento y miran el baño, la sala, la cocina y se les indica a todo el mundo cómo está la situación. So, ellos van a volver a hacer eso, ya lo hicieron, lo van a volver a hacer de nuevo antes que ustedes se muden en la línea E. Para que todo esté por escrito y que todo el mundo esté claro de lo que se va a hacer o no hacer.
And the other two big components of the work that are going on right now is the masonry work. So as I'm sure you've seen, they're doing work in the interior courtyards and have mostly finished the work there, and are doing work on the G line and the E line on the south facade of the building.
Lo más importante es que el trabajo más importante que se está haciendo ahora es el trabajo del ladrillo. Si alguien aquí entiende el español mejor que yo y tiene una mejor palabra, por favor, dicen en decírmelo, pero el masonry es el ladrillo, el ladrillo que está fuera del edificio.
And so as some of you may know, you can't do masonry work in cold weather. So in the past spell, when it's been consistently under 40 degrees, they haven't been able to, they can do some work, they can do demolition and some merging work, but can't do the actual masonry. So, we're consistently tracking that to make sure they're only doing work when it's warm enough outside. It seems like there's a spell coming up for about the next 10 days that's going to get back up to about 50 degrees. So it should allow us to catch up on some of that work on the G line.
Pero como ya saben que el trabajo de ladrillo no se puede hacer porque al menos que la temperatura no esté 40 o arriba, simplemente no funciona. Pero ellos están trabajando cada vez que si está la posibilidad, ellos lo hacen. Aparentemente, la temperatura en los próximos 10 días va a estar suficiente para que se continúe haciendo el trabajo de ladrillo.
So let's can I ask a question?
Sure.
In reference to the pointing of the
Yeah.
bricks. Okay, in my bathroom, where they did replace the bricks over my window,
Okay.
the water is coming in, because you can see it in the seal, it's pooling around the top of the bathroom. So can that be checked out?
I'm gonna be here Thursday. Will you be home? Can we come back?
I'll be home, because I don't know if it was them taking it out and then putting the plastic or if it's doing it now.
Okay.
But they
I'll call you. We can find out.
Ok, si ese es un problema que lo van a chequear, ustedes tienen cualquier persona que tenga este problema, por favor déjenos saber. Pues el trabajo de ladrillo, las personas que están afuera, porque si ustedes ven personas afuera del trabajo, hacia afuera, no es un apartamento, en el apartamento de ella le está filtrando agua. Si ustedes tienen, eso pasa, si eso se está pasando a ustedes, cuando llueve, se puede filtrar agua. Si está pasando, lo dejan saber inmediatamente a nosotros enseguida a arreglar el problema, porque no queremos agua que entre a su apartamento. ¿Ok?
And I realize I said Thursday, I mean tomorrow, so.
tomorrow.
Ella lo vamos a chequear el día y mañana.
Yeah.
Just about work outside the building. Can they continue installing the new fire escapes below 40 degrees, or is that not happening?
So the issue, if you look on the most like sort of southwest corner, that first window is where the fire escape is going to be, and you can see that there's some areas under that window where they have removed the old brick, right, and then they put it's like green tarp in there. So they did all the demo and the purging work, but what they can't do is install the brick on the building envelope, and they have to do that before that they can put the fire escapes in. Yeah, sorry.
No, es okay, es very complicated. El trabajo de poner los fire escapes, ¿verdad? De ponerlo, todo el mundo entiende lo que es fire escape, eso es una palabra en inglés, pero ese es más complicado y ellos tienen que hacer mucho trabajo, tienen que hacer trabajo de medicina y quitar mucho, y también hizo una cosa que se llama party, no sé lo que es eso, pero tiene que ser como un roto, y entonces para meter eso, fire escape, que antes no había en esa línea de esos apartamentos.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So the masonry, they're mostly concentrating on the G line and the south side of the building. Are they, I know that they had planned to do some work on the front of the building and of
Yes.
course my balcony.
Yes.
That's not going to happen until they're working on my
So we're
lawn.
attacking it in phases.
Uh-huh.
And it makes sense to get the G line done now, obviously, so we can get the fire escape in place. If we want to get that done as a big piece of work before people move back.
Bueno, ella está preguntando, ella quería saber si también se va a hacer trabajo de ladrillo al frente del edificio, y también ella tiene problemas que ella necesita que se haga ese tipo de trabajo porque para su apartamento, porque tiene problemas en el apartamento. Entonces ella, se está haciendo por parte, y ahora se estaba concentrando en la línea G, porque la línea G es 1, G2 y G3, que es bastante grande, pero sí vamos a por fase. Cuando lleguemos a esa fase se va a hacer se va a hacer una fase que no viene.
They're in other phases.
Entonces también va a haber fire escape en otras fases. El punto es que lo vamos a hacer por partes. The point is right that it's going to be done by phases. So by phases is when it's
Correct. So the masonry work is being done in phases. It's not necessarily exactly the idea is when it's vacant that we can do more of the masonry work, but it's possible that we'll do some of the facade work before we are actually in your line, which is actually a good thing, right? Because then the building envelope is going to be tight and sealed, and then the interior work that's going to be done will avoid any leaks that happen after the fact. Does that make sense?
Pero ella está diciendo que ellos también van a hacer el trabajo de el edificio, el último piso, que se llama facade, que puede ser que ellos van a hacer eso antes, que no van a hacer por fase. Y si lo pueden hacer, lo más pronto posible, lo van a hacer lo más pronto posible. No tiene que ser que esté en esa fase, pero si lo podemos hacer ahora, lo hacen ahora, porque entonces eso quiere decir que ellos ponen todo en el edificio, se ponen entero y es más rápido y más eficiente y para hacer ese tipo de trabajo que se llama que es lo de para que no se caiga un ladrillo encima de la cabeza de nadie.
So there's a limit though to how much they can mobilize the facade work because it's based on like drops from the top of the building. So there's safety requirements over like the structural load that they can put on the parapet walls and things like that. So they can't have a drop in like every window line of the building at once. So they're doing it in phases. What I can do is tomorrow I have a meeting with MDG and the Mason, and I can talk with them more about the schedule and make sure that I share that with the board and the construction committee at 1 o'clock. Really, I can give that to you so that then you have a better sense of the masonry schedule overall in the building and when they're going to be working on your line.
Okay, so ellos trabajan mañana por la mañana, que siempre y la van a hablar con las personas que son contratistas, que son los que saben sobre el trabajo del facade y para hacer si se puede hacer más adelantado y también hay situaciones que el departamento de edificio es muy tiene que hacer todo tiene que ver con la ley y tiene que haber seguridad y tiene que ser seguro. Todo eso se va a hablar mañana y si se puede hacer más rápido, se hace más rápido, pero todo eso lo tiene que aprobar el arquitecto y la persona que hace ese trabajo especial, porque es un trabajo especial también, es el pasar y hacer el ladrillo. Eso se llama también el Loco 11. ¿Sabes el Loco 11? Eso es una ley que se llama Loco la número 11. Es muy importante y tiene que ser por ley.
Yeah, definitely.
No.
Oh, okay. That's okay. Yeah, Vanessa.
This is away from mason work.
Okay, that's okay.
I'd like to know, will you give us a new boiler? Is that in your scope of
That's
work?
exactly what I was going to talk about.
Okay,
Let's talk about it.
So Brent has a section in the agenda to talk about like management issues and heat, which I know has been a problem in the last week. So we can talk about that more in depth. As people might know, there's a temporary boiler right now because your old boiler has been deconstructed and is no longer in the building. So MDG is in the process of installing the new boiler. It's their estimate right now that that's going to be in place and up and running by the new year, by 2020. And so that's related to getting Con Ed here to make them turn the gas back on. As people have maybe noted, there's been a lot of digging in the front. That's actually Con Edison that's doing that digging so that they can bring more high pressure gas up to your building, which is needed for the boiler. Yeah, so we're just going to translate it.
Okay, so me refiero que ya vamos a entrar a otro tema. Ella quiere saber sobre si nos van a dar un edificio, ¿cómo se mueve en español? A ver, lo que la boiler, ¿cómo se entiende boiler en español? ¿Right? Lo que te hace caliente. Dime tú, ayúdame aquí. ¿Cómo se dice boiler en español? De otros Spanish will say boiler. So, van a tener un boiler nuevo. Por eso ustedes ven que hay allá afuera, it's a temporary boiler. Because they have to have the temporary boilers and the new boiler. Y ellos tienen un boiler temporario afuera para traer el boiler nuevo. Eso va a ser fantástico porque no van a tener tanto problema como tienen ahora. Right? Y she said que eso también tiene que dependerlo con Canet otra vez, que Canet tiene que aprobar eso. Y otra cosa bien importante que ustedes están viendo como que están digging, que están haciendo rotos al frente, eso es canalizar, porque ellos tienen que poner más líneas para que haya más presión, para que suba la presión. porque estos son 12 pisos, right? These are 12 floors, so the pressure has to be high. So, ellos están haciendo eso nuevo, como tienen new boiler, están haciendo eso, el boiler al frente, eso es canalizing, a poner las líneas adecuadas para que ustedes tengan más presión, no suba.
Did you want to ask your question?
No.
No, okay. So, yeah, the new boiler should be up and running in 2020. That's the estimate.
A new boiler, not a refurbished?
No, brand new. They fully took out the old boiler. The new boiler, the actual, like, the casing is there, but they're building all of the,
And it's
essentially,
gonna
the
be gas.
mechanicals inside.
It'll be gas instead of oil.
It is a dual fuel boiler, so it will run on both natural gas and on number 2 oil. So, do you want to translate that?
Bueno, ella dice que va a ser ella preguntó que si iba a ser un vuelo que se llama Reference, como que va a ser la vieja, pero que no van a ayudar a la vieja, una vuela nueva. Y para la vuela va a tener la capacidad de tener gas y de tener el número 2, petróleo. Entonces, eso quiere decir que cuando si los precios están muy altos para el petróleo, ustedes usan gas. Si los precios están muy altos para el gas, ustedes pueden usar petróleo. So I can answer a little bit extra. You said that the reason that you have the dual fuel is that prices, and when the electricity prices are really high, you have the option to use gas, and vice versa. So it's really great to have options.
So it's either or, we can select gas
Correct.
or.
It basically gives you the flexibility based on pricing. If oil prices spike really high because of whatever geopolitical reason, then you can run on natural gas. But if vice versa that happens with natural gas, you can run on oil. So it gives you the flexibility. But in the current moment, it's cheaper to run on natural gas, so that's what I would assume the boiler would run on. But you have the flexibility to run on oil.
And it's gonna heat the water and the pipe.
Yeah. So a major benefit to having a new heating system is that you're going to have a separate hot water system. And currently they're combined in your heating system. So what that means is your boiler has to run all summer in order for you to get hot water. So now that they're separated, you can not have your boiler running all summer. And what that means is once you're a co-op, you're going to spend a lot less money each year on heating costs and fuel costs.
So, esto es muy importante porque lo que aquí va a ser algo nuevo, que van a tener el agua caliente, va a ser separado. So, el boiler, el agua caliente no va a tener que ver nada con la boiler. Ahora ustedes lo tienen combinado. Y para tener agua caliente y calefacción, tiene que tener la boiler puesta. Y también tiene que tener la boiler puesta en el verano. Ellos hacen un cambio, pero tiene que tener la boiler puesta. Aquí ustedes van a tener la boiler apagada en el verano y se va a utilizar, va a tener siempre agua caliente. So, nunca van a tener problemas con agua caliente.
And so the hot water system will be ready by January 2020 as well?
Yeah, the new system.
Same time?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No.
Just a question about the temporary boiler. You know, we know they don't always function very well, so we haven't had heat today, a couple of days prior.
5 days.
Is Alberto, does he have the key to that boiler so he can go in and mess around with it when it's malfunctioning, or?
Yeah.
What?
Brent, do you want me to or do you want me to?
Well, I think just in general, is that the temporary boiler is connected to the replacement of put in a new boiler. So MDG is trying to make sure that the temporary boiler is working properly. But obviously, Alberto is involved because he's the super. So it's a matter of them working together to work out the kinks on the temporary boiler. Yes, there are some kinks and problems with the temporary boiler that they've been working on the past couple of days.
Yeah.
Ha habido muchos problemas, ha habido muchos problemas y ustedes no han tenido, tiene que ser bien frustrante no tener agua caliente y aquí por una semana, horrible, especialmente que ahora viene Thanksgiving y ustedes no quieren saber de eso. So, ha habido unos grandes problemas sobre el temporary boiler no funciona 100%, entonces ella quiere saber quién es responsable en arreglar eso. Alberto sí, él va abajo y él trata de hacer lo que pueda para que haya calefacción y agua caliente, pero también es la responsabilidad de MDG. Se van ellos tienen que coordinar cómo que ellos van a hacer, coordinar el trabajo para que esto no suceda y cuando suceda se pueda arreglar. So basically, MDG and Norberto are the coordination where they are going to work together, and so that when this does happen, it's much more smoothly and there's more better communication, so that there's not such a lapse of time between getting it. But the thing is, what is it? It matters not between MDG and who does the boiler. Is the boiler itself? It's the mechanical issue, no?
There's been issues with the temporary boiler. And I think it's, when it happens in the middle of the night, like 2:30 at night, I think it happened last night. Obviously, it's a problem because getting the temporary boiler people out here in the middle of the night, it takes a little more time. We're crossing our fingers that they figured it out, and we're not going to have this kind of problem going forward.
So, hoy, lo que sucedió anoche fue que la agua se fue, la calefacción se fue a las 2:30 de la mañana. Y entonces, a esa hora, para traer a las personas se hace bien difícil llamar a los contratistas para que vengan a arreglar el boiler. So, hoy vinieron y estamos esperando que esto no suceda otra vez. Porque lo último que nosotros queremos es que no tenga calefacción o agua caliente. So, eso causa nosotros gran problema.
And by the way, just one thing about who do you call if there's lack of heat? And so we heard from a couple of tenants who said, well, they felt like they didn't call. So I'm just going to remind you of this notice that was sent out in the summer about who to call, and I will also read out the numbers for you so you can write them down.
So every say,
Put it up again.
Yeah.
in the federal.
Can you just read out the number right now for the?
Yeah.
So vamos a poner el número, okay, read the numbers first.
Well, you repeat what I just said.
Okay, so él dice que también la gente ha preguntado que ellos llaman y no saben a quién llaman. Actualmente me textean a las 5 de la mañana, pero eso no pasa. So, no saben a quién llamar y se supone que haya ese sensador anterior, hay un teléfono de emergencia. Y ese es el número que ustedes están supuestos a llamar cuando eso sucede. Cuando sucede a las 2 y a las 3 de la mañana, cuando sucede cuando aquí no hay personal.
So the first is, if it's not office hours, like it's late at night
De noche,
or it's on the weekend,
o los sábados y domingos,
you call 718
718
692
692
7178.
7178. Y ella dice que ella está sugiriendo que se ponga el papel aquí otra vez.
Right, and the phone number, if you don't want to come down the stairs, the phone number to this office during office hours is 212 368
368
8869.
8869. Ese es el teléfono de la oficina de aquí.
And there's one other number that you can call. This is after hours. If it's not an emergency, but you feel like it's important enough that you need to let Herlin know, who's the manager, the on-site manager, you call this number and that reroutes to her personal phone, and she will get the message. And that number is 718
718
475
475
4265.
4265 4265. Ese número, si no es que sea a las 2:30 de la mañana o sea que no necesariamente tiene que ser una emergencia, pero ustedes piensan que es importante o que le está afectando, ustedes me deben llamar a este número 718-475-4265. Ese número va directamente a Jordan. So, ella no va a contestar, pero va directamente a Jordan y Jordan va So, a la hora que sea, ese número va al teléfono de Helen, o al celular de Helen.
And you, Millie just reminded me, you could also email from it.
Ustedes todos deben tener el email de Helen.
We'll have Express repost this so that you can see it if you need to. We'll put it on like every floor next to the elevator, lobby, so that you can have it. But she can also be reached by email. It's a pretty reliable way of reaching somebody.
Sí, lo que pueda, yo tengo una ability, porque no todo el mundo le gusta el correo electrónico, la mejor forma de comunicarse con Helen es a través del correo electrónico. Instead of texting me at 7 in the morning.
Is that why when the hot water comes out, it's scalding hot? Okay, and I'm just saying, like, little kids, that water is so hot, so when it comes out with steam, and even if you mix it with the cold water, it's still hot.
Okay.
Okay, and in my apartment, I don't know about anybody else, but when it comes out, it shoots at me.
If the hot water is too hot, is that every day or?
It's every day. It's scalding hot. And I'm just saying, for little kids, you know what I'm saying?
Even before you touch the TV.
Yours is not hot?
Mine is hot. The same thing you're saying. It's like steam coming out of it.
It's like steam.
Yeah. You have the problem with your kitchen pressure. The pressure is low in the kitchen. The pressure is low in the kitchen.
You should have one voice.
No sé el teléfono de memoria. Está aquí. Okay, can you talk to me after we finish? Okay.
Judy, you have a question?
Yes, I was so happy to find that MDG kept their promise about the gas so that we could use gas or electric on the stove. But now I want to know, the previous boiler was not natural gas and oil, correct?
Correct.
So my question is, how safe is it? I saw a truck with a Texas license plate. The company was RNN. I know they're digging on the upper layer of this is where Riverside is 3 tiers, like down in that valley, and then the regular one that goes to the highway, and then us right here.
Yeah.
So is this all for the purpose of feeding natural gas to only 644, or is it going to be piped eventually up 141st Street or to the co-op across the street as well?
Well, first of all, I can tell you that my building is a co-op. We've been a co-op for 30 years, and we just recently got a new boiler, and it works perfectly, and it's perfectly safe. And we've had it now for 5 years. So it's a new, and we save loads of money. And because we are a co-op, we are very enamored with
Now, the geographic
but as far as space safety is concerned, my experience is that it's extremely safe because the last thing that kind of is one is that the buildings go up in the city. And that if it's going to go up to other buildings, I don't know. Bueno, I cannot be talking to you. Ella está diciendo que sí, I'm sorry, I get mixed up, on Spanglish, all faces, So, la cosa es que ella dice que si eso, ella tiene que está contenta que va a haber gas, porque ella no quería electricidad, ella no quería estufa de electricidad, pero ahora ahora va a haber estufa de gas. So, pero hasta ahora que ella está pensando, está diciendo que si ese pueblo es que no sería peligroso, porque ella ha visto que hay troques, que se está afuera, que ella no tiene miedo que, como ha visto también historias que ha visto explosiones de gas, ella quiere saber si eso va y con el edificio.
Your building is 135th, and there's a slight incline, right, at 135th? So they didn't have to do any special tunnel digging, am I right? For your block, Millie? They did not have to.
So, let me really answer the question. So, what happened basically is that when we were going through the process with both 644 and 640, because 644 also recently got a new boiler, and they similarly converted, I think it's a dual fuel, I can't remember. It's dual fuel as well. When we applied for the applications through DOE and notified Con Ed and all of that, they said that in order to get natural gas boiler, we would have to work with them to increase the high pressure gas that was coming up Riverside Drive to 141st and 142nd. It's the policy of Con Edison that the applicant, meaning like you have or the building basically, covers that cost of building the infrastructure that Con Ed then owns. That's how they control their work, right? They have a monopoly on natural gas in Manhattan, so they're able to behave that way. So it is definitely it's being done by Con Edison themselves, by licensed contractors. I can talk with MDG tomorrow at our meeting I wrote down the contractor with the Texas plates. I'll just talk to them about it, and Billy will be there. But it definitely is it's typical, it's what they do throughout the city. And it shouldn't be anything to be alarmed about.
Oh, that's very good.
So I'm going to translate so she answers the question. So ella dice que esto es poner boiler que cojan gas de necesidad. Esto es una cosa típica, que es una cosa que lo hace Con Edison. Con Edison tiene una monopolio en cómo ellos determinan cómo hacer el gas y la electricidad. Lo que ellos quieren es que ellos insisten que tiene que haber suficiente presión, tiene que haber suficiente presión, tiene que haber un sinnúmero de requisitos que se tienen que llevar a cabo, pero para que tienen que pagar eso, que Con Edison haga ese trabajo, porque ellos son los únicos que lo pueden hacer, ellos son los únicos que se pueden meter por ese roto. Ese trabajo ellos lo hacen con su licenciado de Con Edison, pero el que paga eso es el dueño. So, nosotros tenemos que pagar a Con Edison para que haga ese trabajo, para que entonces nosotros podemos poner la boiler según las especificaciones detalladas de Con Edison.
People have other questions about the boiler?
Okay.
Say that again?
The heaters, because
Temporary heaters or like,
will you give us temporary heaters?
Brent, do you want to
You
answer?
mean space heaters, Vanessa?
I like Lasco.
No, please.
Um,
Hockey, right?
No, she's
No,
talking
it's
about.
you mean a space heater.
On space heater.
Well, we're not expecting that the boiler is going to go down again. And so I think that if there's any event where there's going to be a prolonged period where the boiler's down, then we will definitely take that up as an alternative.
Well, there's no heat today. We just started at 7. There's no heat. The environment's frozen.
Well, it was restored this afternoon.
It's on very low. It's on very low.
Yeah, I mean, the last thing I was going to add about the heat is that we have, because this is like an MPG's contract as well, the temporary boiler, at our meeting tomorrow, we'll make sure to bring this up and Billy will be there as well.
Take notes.
Yeah. And when I spoke with them today, they said that someone was coming out to service the temporary boiler, so we'll make sure that everything was okay, that the issues that kept the heat from coming up have been resolved, and try to get some assurances. If this continues to be a problem, then we'll ask that they, basically get a new system installed. If there's something wrong with that one, there's no reason why we should continue to.
Okay, so ella estaba preguntando que si lo vamos a dar es cosa que uno puede para dar calefacción y todo el ladito, ¿verdad? Que es peligroso. Pero no esperamos que el boiler esperamos que el boiler se arregle. No debe haber una ocasión que necesitamos hacer eso. Y si esa es la situación, entonces lo que tenemos que hacer es pedirle a MDG que mañana ellos van a reunir para estar los directores ahí, que ellos le van a reunir y le van a demandar que entonces si ese boiler Pero no queremos que la solución sea poner space heaters. Los space heaters are not really safe either. So we don't have claro, vamos a ver. Pero en realidad, okay, we won't need them. Pero entonces, we hope we won't need them. So estamos esperando que este problema se arregle mañana. Tomorrow we're going to fix that problem. Hopefully.
Bien.
But it's duly noted that if we have any more
Our
problems.
apartments feel like it's all, feel like right now.
It's colder here than it is in the apartment.
So if you fix that problem, how long will the heat be on for the night? When you don't know the night, the morning, or
The heat never actually goes off unless the boiler breaks. The heat goes in cycles. Every hour it's on for a certain amount of time, depending on the temperature outside. So it's not that it ever goes up, it doesn't stay on 20, like 60 minutes per hour. It goes on and off during that hour.
So como trabajaba boilers,
It goes off in the middle of the night. And it never will be off between like 2 in the morning and 5.
The only reason that would happen is if the temperature outside was not below a certain amount, so that it's calling for heat. It calls for heat less after 10 o'clock at night. From 10 o'clock at night to 6 o'clock in the morning is nighttime temperatures where it doesn't call for as much heat as it does during the day. So depending on the outside temperature, if it's not getting that cold, there will either be less heat or no heat because there's a certain setting.
I'm thinking back to last winter, it was always on between like 2 and 5.
It should not be off, especially if it's cold.
So we shouldn't expect that that's going to happen.
Well,
so we're going to get a new boiler. We hope that and it should happen with this boiler either. So it should be more the temporary boiler. So it shouldn't be off because it's supposed to be go off. The no boiler is programmed to be on 24 hours a day because you literally go up. So the boiler is programmed to go on like for a half hour and then it comes down. You know, sometimes you hear your pocket go shh, and then it goes down, and then it's supposed to come up again. And this is the way it's supposed to work normally, obviously. Well, actually, I'm going to say it in Spanish.
Let me just try to summarize
Okay, summarize it.
I want to try to summarize this.
It's too complicated.
Yeah, I think what we're going to do is we'll send out a flyer to all of you,
Yeah.
which is going to tell you two things. What the law requires and what the settings are that we have implemented for both daytime and nighttime. Our settings are higher than what the law requires. So we're going to let you know what the settings are and the way that the system is supposed to work.
It's behind you.
it's behind you.
And I'm afraid to work for it.
Well, we're going to send it to everybody so that you have it.
Yeah, but you can read what's behind you.
So we'll help both, and then we have to fix the boiler, so that it's according to those settings.
Well, what I'm trying to say is,
See, that's what the law requires. We're going to also send you what our settings are, which are higher than this.
So, esto es lo que la ley, bueno, esto es lo que la ley requiere. La ley quiere lo que dice aquí. Todo el mundo puede leer esto. La ley dice, esta es la ley. Nosotros vamos a mandar a ustedes lo que dice la ley, está ahí, y también lo que nosotros hemos puesto en el boiler, lo que debe ser. Nosotros pusimos los settings más altos. So, si ahí dice, debe ser X, vamos a poner 60, nosotros lo ponemos a 67. No estoy leyendo más que el número así, no estoy leyendo específica. ¿Cuál es la pregunta?
what I'm trying to say is, I've had electric heaters on since cold started.
Okay.
Because, like today, perfect example, from 3 o'clock to 7 o'clock start, no heat whatsoever. Not the radiators, not the pipes. everything is cold, freezing cold. I
The-
know that normally if you keep it on and it's a little warm, the apartments, the tenants stay warm. But no, it just goes off completely.
The boiler has not been.
It's a cold start.
So, ellos lo que están diciendo es que esto lo que está supuesto suceder no está sucediendo. Que la boiler está apagando. Por ejemplo, para ella vio que la boiler se apagó de 3 a 7. So, no estaba subiendo y bajando, como está supuesto bajar. Obviamente, la boiler, el temporary boiler, está dañada, o sea, no está funcionando bien. Vamos a ver cómo funciona mañana.
Yes, when the boy was up, my mother had bad cold, and I had to go to the doctor 2 weeks ago. And I ended up getting cold, it was cold, that was so cold.
Yeah, so, of course, everyone here, there's no one, okay, aquí no hay nadie, dice que ella como que lleva a su mamá al hospital y que ella también tuvo que ir al hospital al doctor por la situación de la temperatura. Y tenemos que resolver eso, porque nadie quiere estar frío. Y por ley, no está supuesto estar frío. O sea, nosotros tenemos que crear
I have a temperature taker right here, it's instant. For instance, it's 69 degrees in that chair right there. I can tell the temperature wherever we are, just like that. Right after this meeting.
The reason why the temperature is hot is because there's a lot of people inside of this room. There's a lot of people in the room, so
The boiler has not been running for 6 days. I have my automatic temperature meter that's on the internet. We can see when the boiler run. It hasn't run for 6 days. Second part, the temperature has been lower than the legal limits. Yes, it has. Yes, I'll send you the link. You can see it. No, you haven't been cold. The temperature up there is not the same at the bottom. At the bottom is colder than at the
top is colder than the
Excuse me.
well.
Excuse me. We are not disputing. We've been saying that we know that the temporary boiler has been on and off and has gone down for periods of time this week. We know that. And they've been working on it. We hope that it is fixed and it's not going to happen again. If it does happen again, Celeste already said that they're going to have a serious talk about using another temporary boiler instead of this one. And we are paying attention. We will work to make sure that there's adequate heat throughout the building. So that's the best we can say, but we're committed to adequate heat.
Nosotros estamos con ustedes, estamos de acuerdo con ustedes, estamos de acuerdo que el boiler está no funcionando y que ha habido periodos, por ejemplo, como hoy, que no hubo nada de aquí de 3 a 7. Entonces el boiler se frisa y coge como 2 horas para calentarse cuando el boiler sube. Nosotros estamos de acuerdo que el boiler no está funcionando. Por eso que mañana se van a reunir con el contratista y se va seriamente, no queremos esto que pase. Nosotros queremos que ustedes tengan calefacción porque no es justo y también está contra la ley. Y nosotros queremos que ustedes estén cómodos. Por eso nosotros vamos a trabajar y Celeste va a trabajar con un equipo, va a estar ahí. Y esa puerta no está funcionando, ella va a decir que se busquen otra.
I have a question about something else, which is the hole that happened in the roof on the 12th floor, where a big piece of concrete fell down, which were several tons of concrete, could have killed someone, luckily it hasn't. That seemed to have been because of a leak from the roof, and the previous board has been telling for the last 7 years that there was a leak on the roof. Now we're going to have to pay for that hole and to fix it. How much will it cost? Who is liable for that hole? And which budget is it coming from? Construction or the maintenance budget? And since UHAB is responsible for the building and UHAB has never done anything about fixing that hole, will UHAB be paying for the hole?
So, ahora está diciendo, eso que pasó en el 12 piso, que hubo una situación en el techo, aparentemente un video tremendo que se cayó hasta un concreto que podía fácilmente, si alguien estaba ahí, matarlo porque es concreto. So, y que este liqueo en la junta anterior, ellos lo sabían, los niños lo sabían porque en la junta anterior se les estaba diciendo que el techo ha habido liqueo y él quiere saber entonces cuánto esto va a costar y de qué presupuesto va a salir, que si va a subir del presupuesto de los bienes de la renta o si va a ser el presupuesto del préstamo. Bueno, sería lo único dos presupuestos, el de lo que hizo de la renta, que operating account, y el préstamo, o si, bueno, de dónde va a salir el dinero.
We have an engineering firm that's been retained to do a thorough inspection of the roof and the ceilings of the 12th floor, and we're waiting for the report of the engineering firm as to know what needs to be done to make sure that everything is safe. In terms of how it's going to be paid for, right now we don't know because we don't know how much it may cost until we've gotten the results from the engineering firm.
Él dice que ya se contrató con una compañía se contrató ingenieros, que son las únicas personas que pueden hacer eso, para que hagan un acceso de qué es lo que tiene el techo, cuál es el remedio que tiene que hacer, y entonces ellos lo mandan un reporte completo de lo que se tiene que hacer. Los ingenieros tienen que hacer eso. Él dice, la pregunta de que quién lo va a pagar, nosotros no, de qué presupuesto va a salir, no lo podemos decir ahora mismo en este segundo, porque no sabemos cuánto va a costar. Y primero tenemos que saber qué es lo que hay, cuál es el techo completo, es una parte del techo, hay que saber cuál es el reporte y cuánto va a costar, entonces le vamos a decir de qué presupuesto va a salir.
Let's move on to the next item on the agenda, the intercoms. As you know, there's been a recent transition, and actually Celeste is more on top of that than I am.
Well, if we're moving to the next point, I would like to ask a question about the bathtub, because this is a recurring issue that when you started the project, we were promised our bathtub will not be touched, our wall wouldn't be touched, etc., etc. I'm not going to go over that. But we've seen the new bathtub. They're $300 piece of crap bathtub. They're small, they're a piece of crap. So what are we going to do for the scope of work to remove those items that we don't want there, and we want our bathtub to be remaining, and we want the people to work around the bathtub and to plug those bathtub in? Because we heard stuff like, oh, you couldn't keep them because there is not emergency exit. You know that little thing that on top, how you call that, the water filling? That's what they told me last time. But actually the old bathtub all have those water filling when it fills up. So what do we need to do to keep our bathtub?
Lo que quiero saber es que ellos pensaban que cuál es la situación desde por qué ellas se pueden quedar con las bañeras que ustedes tienen ahora. La bañera que pusieron empieza que es una bañera que no es adecuada, que no está las especificaciones que piensa que son buenas, y qué se puede hacer para que sobre la situación de mantener los baños que hay ahora, las bañeras que hay ahora, y que se trabaje alrededor de la bañera que ahora existe. Esa es la pregunta.
So, I mean, I guess I would say that I think maybe very early on, several years ago in the process, there was some discussion of whether or not tenants could keep the bathtub as well as the decorative molding. I think it's unfair to say that we haven't talked about that at length as a group prior to the construction closing. I mean, I think we've had both individual conversations with many people who had concerns about both the bathtubs and the picture frame And we've made it very clear to everybody before they move out of their apartment what they're going to get when they move back and what's part of the scope of work. The bathtubs, we've also, I believe, communicated with you over email, although I'm happy to forward you the communication from HPD as to the reasons as per HPD's design guidelines that we're not able to keep the old tubs. We won't get DOB or HPD approval and sign off after the work has been completed without replacing the tubs. So it's unfortunately a component of the work that needs to be done. Happy to, as we've done with every other person in the construction process, talk to them individually about what's going on.
It's not about individually. You blaming me again, saying it's unfair, No, the process has been, the bathtub was a contention issue.
No, that's fake news, Theo.
It's
They
fake
never
news?
said that we could keep our bathtubs. The most recent incarnation of this never said we could keep our bathtubs.
No, they don't want, they after they got the project in their hand, like MDG said, oh, we would like to come to you to be your building. Oh yes, you can keep
But
these.
much has changed.
Yes, but they lied to us. What part of they lied to us?
It's not they lied.
Yes, they lied to us.
What they thought they could do was what they are.
No, they're professional. They lie. That's it.
I'm saying it's fake news. No one ever made
Okay.
me announcement that we could keep our bathtubs.
Yes, we did. I have it in writing and I have it in contention. So, as I said, I will take it to court and we'll have to fight in court. I will fight in court for my bathtub.
Right, and we have it on camera.
Yes, and I have it on camera. So,
I just want to say that I've walked through, some of the apartments that have already been completed. And even before the construction began, when they walked through our apartment, I specifically asked where we want to keep our bathtub, and I was told no, we're going to get new bathtubs. I was very happy, and I'm very happy with the end result. I don't think they're pieces of crap. I strongly disagree with you. I think they're absolutely beautiful.
how many people
I
here?
want to translate. Okay, so.
I'm done. You can be very happy. I'm not.
La persona sobre el dato, de la bañera. La priorización de la bañera se ha hablado muy adecuadamente con los inquilinos. A todos los inquilinos les dijeron que no se iban a quedar con la bañera. Además, que no solamente no se puede quedar con la bañera porque no nos da la gana, porque no tenemos nada mejor que hacer, pero porque HPD y el departamento de edificio nos va a firmar el sign, lo que se llama el sign-off, para que ustedes tengan su apartamento, si no hacemos las guías que HPD y el departamento de edificio ellos han puesto. Estas son leyes que no son nosotros que creamos estas leyes, pero son guidelines, son guías que HPD y el departamento de edificio ponen. Puede ser que a 10 años atrás habían otras guías, pero a través de la experiencia ahora tienen guías nuevas. Entonces ella dice que ella se recuerda que sí, ella hablaron muy específicamente sobre que iban a cambiar la bañera. La bañera que ella tiene es preciosa, ella está muy contenta y no hay nada malo en su bañera. Okay, so we move on from here.
And can I get the link to the guideline actually?
Yeah,
No, the link to the guideline that HPD is using. I mean, what?
I did not want to translate anything about annoying because
No, annoying. Listen, you have your opinion. You have a non-profit that owns this building. I'm still a tenant here, and I'm allowed to ask whatever question. So you can keep your opinion to yourself.
I agree with you, and then I respect it, and then I did not use the word annoying because I was.
You said it in English, like so.
Not necessary.
Okay, so, yeah, Judy, you have a question?
Send me the guideline.
I want to say quickly that the washing machines in 644 are dreadful. And if we're going to change hours, I don't know if this is off topic. I'm on the construction committee, and I would hope that whoever gets the contract, if they're going to be replaced, that we use a really good company so that the machines do the work and don't just look pretty on the outside and don't do the job. And speaking of water, I was obsessed about my ancient, very strong bathtub. And some of the changes that come along as life goes on become a matter of just acceptance. There are other things that are more urgent and more important. Literally, I was obsessed, and now that I've seen it, I definitely can live with it. In fact, I'll be able to actually take baths instead of showers because of the shape mine was in. But I understand how you feel about the old, strong ones. Trust me, they have to do what they have to do to make every apartment uniform. You don't want any leaks because
There is no leak in mine. There is no leak.
Yo le dice que ella quiere saber, que no vamos a averiguar, porque él dice que las máquinas de lavar y los 44 no son buenas. Y ella quiere que aquí, que vea un mejor contratista o una mejor ingeniero o mejor, o contratista que haya especializada en poner máquinas de lavar y máquinas de secar, porque la de 54 ella está acá y ella dice que no son buenas. Ella dice que también hay situaciones que hay que tener, uno tiene que aceptar. Aceptar cambios es difícil. En un momento dado ella estaba obsesada porque le iban a quitar la bañera, pero después que ella vio la bañera nueva, ella ahora dice que ella puede vivir con eso, porque su salud ahora le permite bañarse hasta mejor, como está la situación. Y ella no está de desacuerdo con lo que dice él, que la otra bañera era fuerte, pero que ella encuentra que se puede vivir con lo que hay ahora.
And as for
Hello, everybody. I just wanted to say, as we live in the world of internet and social answers, you can call 311 or you can get in contact with HPD and find out the rules and regs on renovations and new tubs. So you don't have to hear somebody tell you what the rules and regs are. If you don't believe, do what you always do. Google. You call the HPD and find out for yourselves. That way you don't have to do what hearsay.
Okay, so él dice que una de las maneras que nosotros, que si ustedes no, las personas que no creemos, que tienen dudas, que hagan, vivimos en una era de tecnología moderna y se puede llamar el 311, se puede simplemente googlear, no sé si eso es la mejor palabra que puedo utilizar, googlear para ver cuáles son las guías, porque las leyes cambian, las leyes cambian y cambian de año a año. So, esto es nada, simplemente que si ustedes pueden buscar ustedes mismos cuáles son las guías y cuáles son las leyes.
I just wanted to respond to Judy on the laundry machines, which is simply to say duly noted. We'll bring it up with Paul Martinez about better quality washing machines and dryers. So I got it down in my notes. We'll bring it up with them.
So, vamos a hablar con porque sobre lo que ella dice que no pongan la misma máquina que tienen en el 644.
Also, too, there has been rumored that you haven't got minutes and stuff like that. MDG has an open door policy from 7:30 to 8 to 5. They are there, and I'm sure everybody knows who Andy is. They are open door. You can ask them any questions about the tub or anything about your apartment. If they go right to the source. You don't have to speculate, you don't have to assume, you don't have to wait to see me or any of the board members in the hallway. Go right to them.
Let me say something about the minutes, since we're doing communication.
Billy dice que ha habido, se ha hablado que no ha habido minutas, pero deben saber que aquí esto es una situación abierta. Si ustedes tienen alguna pregunta, MDG tiene la oficina abierta, es desde lunes a viernes. Ellos están ahí de lunes a viernes y están ahí de 8 a 5. Ellos tienen una política de 8 a 5. Ustedes pueden entrar, hacerle preguntas sobre todas las leyes y su apartamento o lo que sea. Okay, so tenemos muchos sitios que pueden conseguir información. ya se terminó lo de la bañera, no se va a volver la bañera. Let's move on.
So I have a question about the minutes, about the,
I had a couple of questions. Just another thing about just the tubs. The tubs that we have, right? Are they gonna be the same tubs that anyone who has like a disability, senior, so forth, are they gonna have the same tubs on that line? Because I think like the B line is supposed to be the line for anyone.
Ella no tiene la contesta porque ella quiere asegurarse que ella renuncie eso al DG, a los contratistas para poder darle una encuesta adecuada.
And then also, I know it's getting closer because I've been watching the permit and I know we had such an issue with getting the permit to start the elevator up. So since that one is gonna expire December 11th, has a new one already, has paperwork already been filed to keep that elevator going,
Yes.
so it won't stop?
So, yeah, but I appreciate you paying attention.
I worry about stuff.
Yep.
Ella preguntó que es importante que hubo la situación sobre el elevador y eso también la pasó en el trabajo. Ella se dio cuenta que el permiso que dio el departamento del edificio, pero lo que pasa cuando uno pone las leyes, viene el departamento del edificio y te cierra. ¿No? Y entonces no importa quién. Ellos vinieron y se cerraron el elevador. Entonces se va a expirar ese permiso el diciembre 11. Y ella quiere saber que si nosotros ya estamos encima de que el permiso no se vuelva a expirar. Entonces ella dice que se les dijo que sí, que están, que no ha pasado.
We're gonna, and we'll talk about it.
Entonces ella le dio las gracias porque ella trataba de ver y que ella está encima de eso y que mañana se va a pasar sobre eso.
Okay. And then I was noticing like on the outside, I just happened to look up and I know they were priming the fire escapes, but I really like notice now that they're putting on new fire escapes. So I noticed that they're a little bit more narrower than the other ones. And I just had some questions about like how much weight can it hold? And then I'm also thinking about if I was a person who was probably like 350 to probably 400 pounds, how will I get out of my apartment to step on the fire escape? And is that, being that it's narrow, would I have to go sideways or would I be able to just walk straight forward? Because I just worry about like if somebody's in their apartment and you're trying to get out, you have that gate that's there that's low, which is, you know, as an adult, it may not be an issue, but when you have small kids, you know, kids figure out everything real quick. That's a very easy lock to just pick up and just click it over to the side, and it's wide open. And all you have to do
Will
is
those
just...
still be, yeah, so, I mean,
Ella tiene preguntas sobre el fire escape. Ella se dio de cuenta que los fire escapes son pequeños o más pequeños y que ella tiene preocupación sobre si alguien tiene gente que pesa mucho y que 350 o 400 libras, que como yo, personas así van a poder salir en una emergencia, en un fuego. También ella tiene preocupación que los fire escapes son bajitos y que para una persona que los adultos no hay problema, los adultos saben de más bien, pero ella piensa que los niños se dan cuenta rápido y que es muy fácil los nenes abrirlo y salir por el fire escape.
so I don't have like I can't affirm to you right now the answers to these questions. What I'll say is like, the fire escapes are something that DOB is going to like test definitely with signing off on the permits and make sure that they're up to like all the relevant codes and with the gates. But what I'll say is, again, it sounds like you'll be there tomorrow in the construction meeting. I think like these are the type of questions that you can ask them directly, which is like why it's so great that we have tenant representatives at the meetings to be able to ask these questions. But you would think about more if it's your apartment and your family and things like that. So what I'd encourage you to do is ask these questions and then potentially to get the answers to everybody either by taking notes and distributing them or by sharing it verbally. But we can definitely get the answers and make sure that make sure that we can have the child-proof gates.
Okay, so ella dice que ella no recuerda definitivamente eso, que van mañana dice, esto tiene que pasar en la inspección del departamento del edificio. El departamento del edificio tiene que asegurarse que estos fire escapes son safe, que no pueda haber un niño que se vaya volando por un fire escape. Entonces van a tener que mirar y esas preguntas que haciendo que son muy positivas y ella de mañana a ver esa reunión, ella va a hacer esas mismas preguntas en la reunión a ver cómo es que se va a asegurar que los fire escapes que se van a poner no sea que un niño se vaya a caer por él y también no sé cómo se va a hacer que si alguien es grande cómo puede salir. Ella no sabe, ella va a preguntar ella siempre tiene una pregunta, ella va a hacer la pregunta y le vamos a dejar hacer la pregunta.
Yes, I wanted to ask you, the kitchen cabinets, how much weight can they hold? Because some people have like heavy china, and you put your canned goods up there, how sturdy are the cabinets? Because the ones we have now are pretty sturdy, but now these new ones, they look kind of fragile.
Yeah, I would. Do you want to answer the question?
Bueno, ella simplemente quiere saber sobre los gabinetes. Ella quiere saber que los que ella tenía eran fuertes y aguantaban mucho peso. Y ella quiere saber que si los gabinetes que están ahora que no se ven, como que pueden aguantar mucho peso, ella quiere saber que cuánto peso pueden aguantar.
I think the question is more about how securely attached the cabinets are to the wall for how much they can hold than like the sturdiness of like the wood, right? So again, we'll ask tomorrow and get clarification on the exact method by which they're.
The reason I asked was I had they put those new cabinets like now, and it just fell down.
Okay.
So just,
Yeah.
you know, kids walking by, you walking by, you never know.
Yeah, I mean the cabinets are secured into, like they're not just like nailed up to the wall, they're much more securely attached, but we can get like just specific clarity from MDG tomorrow and similar to share.
Estas razones son buenas porque estas preguntas son muy importantes y ella va a hacer también para preguntarle a mí, porque ella piensa que un gabinete que no aguanta mucho se puede caer, incluso se puede caer encima de uno. Ella dice que se resiste que estos gabinetes no se ponen más que con un tornillo o un clavo, pero sino que ellos están puestos en una forma para que no se caigan, claro. Pero que mañana ellos van a asegurarse y van a hacer esa pregunta.
I want to try to move along. We have two more items on the agenda.
Well, we're not done yet. I still have question on that item.
That's part of the agenda.
No, it's about gestion.
Excuse me just a moment, let me just say this. There were several people who came late, and I'd just like to hand this around so that you can, so if you would just hand this back that way, I appreciate it. Thank you, make sure everybody's signed in.
Right, I mean, I would note, the last piece of the agenda is questions, so I suggest maybe we just get through the couple remaining items on the agenda, because I think reading the room and people's facial expressions, I think some people are ready for us to move on and maybe want to leave after that point. No, so
But I still have question on that point. I mean, no, but the point is we'll forget and.
It's not right now, we've been doing a lot of questions and answers.
But we're talking about this topic. We're still on the topic.
A lot of questions.
Well, yes, because hold on, because
Excuse me, hold on a second.
this is a tenant association meeting.
Can I ask the room, actually, could we just take a quick vote? How many people would prefer us to move on to the two items and then we'll open up questions?
Hold on.
Everybody wants to go on with the agenda, because en la agenda dice que vamos a hablar sobre Resident Association, sobre elecciones.
No, but I'm not talking about election. I'm
You get a chance to ask your question.
Well, let me ask my question then. What is the position of you have on Airbnb? This is gesture. I want to know what is the position of you have on Airbnb? No. Well, this is a meeting. You don't have tenant meeting, so the meeting
I'm going to ask you to leave the meeting if you try to take over.
No, I'm not taking over. We
Be
don't.
quiet, please.
We don't.
I want to hear about the intercoms. We have to hear about the intercoms.
Yeah, but can I finish on my question? Why am not allowed to have my 50 questions? Well, no, I'm not relaxing. I'm not relaxing because we don't have the tenant meeting. We don't have.
We need to hear about the intercoms.
So then, people, if you want to know about the rest, run for the board and get on the board because we have no minutes, we have no anything. So
That's what happens. People leave and people don't get information because they don't want this kind of meeting.
But Then don't cut me.
To go to the agenda.
I am talking about the agenda.
Let us go through the agenda and then you can ask your...
So everybody can ask questions in the middle except for me?
You've already asked your questions.
Yes, and I have 10 questions, and I have 100 questions to ask, and I would like them all answered. I want them all answered. I have 7 of them.
Suggestion was only for us to move through 2 items, and then he said to answer your question. We now spent several minutes in several people's
Yes,
lives.
so
Okay, let's take a vote. How many people want to go on the agenda?
We gotta finish this. It's
You want to go on the
8:30.
agenda or do you want to...
Everybody wants us to finish the next point on the agenda and then we go to questions. Let's go.
And we'll do it fast and you can ask your questions. We're not trying to shut you up.
I hope not.
Now, on the intercom situation, everybody knows that we're doing a transition and that the G line, when they move back, are going to have the new video intercom system. But temporarily, everybody else is going to have this new phone system.
Correct.
Now, is everybody's aware of this, I take it, and you have made arrangements with the management office to get hooked up to your phone for the new system, I hope.
Is it working now?
Yes.
It is working.
Yes. It's being...
Eventualmente lo que estamos hablando es que eventualmente vamos a tener un sistema completamente nuevo que va a tener vídeo. Pero mientras tanto, todo el mundo va a tener, ¿cómo se dice? Temporariamente va a haber un sistema que cuando le toquen a ustedes el teléfono, va a sonar en el teléfono de ustedes. Simplemente suena en el teléfono de ustedes lo ponen ponchan y dejan a la persona entrar. Si tienen alguna dificultad y no entienden cómo hacerlo, vayan en la oficina de lunes a viernes de 9 a 5. Para que ellos expliquen paso por paso.
By the way, there was a notice put out about this, and I believe we're going to redistribute the notice again this week.
Ok, esta es la tercera vez que vamos a poner esta notificación sobre el intercom. Lo hemos hecho ya 3 veces. Lo vamos a hacer otra vez, 2 veces. Si es 3 veces, lo vamos a hacer otra vez. Y si tienen alguna pregunta, vayan a la oficina.
I just got a question. How many of you have had somebody come and visit you and they actually use like that intercom system? Anybody? Nobody? One person? Okay. The new one? Nobody else?
I used it.
You used it?
When I visited.
When you visited? Okay.
So we know it works? Because so anybody who's on their phone, it should be working.
Yeah, so MDG has like a number there.
Right.
So, and I don't have a key. So when I come in, I like buzz MDG. They get a number to their phone and then they can press, I think it's press 9. Yeah, and then I got buzzed in.
See, I think the problem now, I'm realizing the problem now is if if your cell phone is getting, if you're getting a call on your cell phone, most people don't answer their
So
cell
what I would
phone.
suggest is, I think Jeffrey can tell you what the number is.
Oh, does it? Oh, okay.
But-
Universal number.
Yeah, okay.
And then it'll be the same number calling you,
right,
because
okay.
it's a line, it's a dedicated phone
you don't
line.
know what it is.
I don't know off the top of my head, but then you can save it in your phone as like buzzer.
Right, so, el teléfono, porque ella dice que a veces tú si te tocan el teléfono, tú sabes quién es y no vas a abrir o no vas a contestar, digo. Entonces el teléfono es universal, todo el mundo tiene el mismo teléfono, van a saber que si ese teléfono suena es el intercom. Por ejemplo, en mi edificio, yo abro con, es diferente, yo abro con una llave especial, pero si me llaman a mí en mi celular dice front door. Aquí va a decir 718, va a tener muchos números universales. En el mío dice front door, so yo sé que hay alguien abajo. The same thing is front door. So you press 9 and you go, hello, who is it? And they say, UPS, come in. And ya entra y yo entro.
Yes. And
So does it have to be on your cell phone or could
no, it can be a landline too. Yeah. So you could give a landline number and then your landline will ring when there's someone outside.
Could you please give your landline, make sure that the people hear the number?
So I think Millie said this in Spanish, but so Jeffrey and Suzette and the people in the management office, do you remember their names?
Sí, y más, como Marina y Jessica, ellos también saben cómo se utiliza el sistema de el intercom. So, tienen a mucha gente que preguntarle. So, Marlene, Jessica, Suzette,
They've all been trained on how to add numbers to the system or to sort of train people if you need some education on how to use it. They're there during the day, so you should go down and see them and hopefully they can help sort out any problems you might be having.
Did you say that the G won't have to have it?
So
Did I
when
misunderstand because we're going to be finished? What was that?
So what was in the original scope of work was the video intercom.
Yes.
And so that's what's in the G line. So when they move back, they'll have the new intercom system, right?
I see.
Yeah.
I got confused. Yes, go to the MDD office.
Do you want to go to the next one?
Yeah, it's very, the intercom system.
Okay, last point before questions is just to let you know, remind you, I think it was in the notice, that the resident association elections for the board are due, and it's going to be held on the January 29th.
Ok, so enero 29 van a haber elecciones a la Junta de Directores. Por favor, no dejen de votar y también, si ustedes quieren, no dejen de nominarse.
And all of the paperwork will be delivered to everybody's door probably after New Year's.
Le vamos a dar los papeles a todo el mundo bajo la puerta después de enero 2.
Like about January 7th.
Cuando ya no tienen bebida, no.
And you know what that is? That's the nomination forms, the ballots, the explanation of how the election works. There's Kenny Soto comes and he delivers that to everybody's door.
So, vamos a Kenny y le vamos a poner bajo la puerta. Él es el que hace las elecciones, es muy bueno haciendo las elecciones. Se va a poner para que ustedes tengan todo. Y si no pueden votar, que tengan un proxy. No hay excusa por no votar. Si ustedes no pueden votar, ustedes hacen un proxy y lo firman. Hay instrucciones específicas y hay muchas reglas de seguir. Okay, so just to say,
No excuses for
sorry, there's no excuses for not voting. You have proxies and everybody should vote.
That's true for 2022.
Excuse me? Oh, ella está preguntando que la máquina de lavar está trabajando.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the question. So the question was about the dryers. So the dryers, unfortunately, the issue, as we talked about in the past, is that there wasn't adequate sprinklers behind the dryers. So it's taken much longer than initially anticipated to get them back online. And I am really sorry about that, and I appreciate everybody's patience in dealing with it. They're in the process of getting the plumbing permits that they need to have in place to get the work done. The estimate that MUG gave me today when I asked them about it is by the end of the year, in early January. So again, we'll bring that up tomorrow. I hope that the residents who are there also push to get some firm answers on this. But we understand that it's very inconvenient and are definitely trying to get it back.
Yeah, ellos están, la cosa es que todavía no lo han hecho y están prometiendo, no voy a decir prometiendo, ellos están proyectando que eso ya el final del año esté arreglado, porque ellos entendemos que no es fácil lavar ropa y subir esa cuesta con ropa para lavar afuera, o sea, no tener secadora. So, ustedes antes no tenían la máquina de lavar y ya tienen máquina de lavar, pero las secadoras no. Hasta
Now sizes up, it seems like the in-law is moving at Christmas time, but obviously we don't want that.
Yeah.
Give us a better sense of when we're now being.
Sure. Yeah, I think you want to answer the question.
no, es simplemente que me está diciendo que la línea es van a mudar y ahora lo que viene es Thanksgiving y después viene Christmas. Y eso no es bueno, mudarse en ese tiempo, y dice que lo den un estimado mejor.
Understand that people, even if they had the possibility to move out at the end of December, likely wouldn't want to handle that at that time. So, understood, and we don't expect anybody to be moving the week of Christmas. So, hopefully that's like a possibility. People could be moving the week of Christmas, but we don't have that expectation, and we assume that people in the E-line will be moving in the new year, if that's the way the timing is.
Claro, nosotros sabemos que lo más difícil en el mundo es mudarse uno cuando si la gente quiere mudarse, se puede mudar. Y estamos hablando de la primera fase. Si hay personas que no importa y se quieren mudar, se pueden mudar. Pero no esperamos que ustedes se muden el día de Navidad, right? Ni el día de Thanksgiving, hasta que no pase un diecito. Right? Eso es lo que estamos viendo, porque sería más lógico. Pero si alguien se quiere mudar ahora, puede mudarse.
Get a question over here and then here. Just some people haven't spoken yet. Yeah?
She wanna know when are they finish our building finish.
The current estimate. The current estimate is January 2021, assuming that we're going to be able to move through the other phases much more quickly. The G line obviously took a lot longer than initially anticipated. It was arguably the most complicated phase with the most apartments. It does have the most apartments of any phase. So we think that there'll be a lot less complication moving forward. So the current estimate is January 2021. But that date is estimated and based on like the overall sort of process that goes on.
Bueno, yo lo voy a decir lo que dice. Está estimando que se va a terminar el proyecto en enero del 2021. De enero del 2021, esa es la proyección que tenemos. Entendemos que ha habido tantos atrasos con la línea E, que fue la más grande, fue la primera fase, fue la más complicada porque estamos orando y luchando que con toda la experiencia que tenemos, con todo lo que hemos hecho ya, que tanto ya avanzado, que las otras líneas vayan a ser más fáciles, más útiles, para que estemos a más tiempo en terminar cuando tenemos que terminar.
So the next phases are going to be one line?
Yeah. The E-line, but in the E-line there's like, some of them are split. So similarly to the G where it's G, G1, G2, with the E, it's just the E-line, but there's some where it's E and E1.
Son como dos líneas. Son como dos líneas porque aunque dice más que E, están como separadas. Es como hacer dos líneas. Entonces se espera que se haga más rápido por todo lo que hemos dicho y hay menos gente. Porque la línea G tenía mucha gente. Va a tener menos gente. Esta debe ser más rápido.
So are there more questions, especially from people who didn't really get to ask any questions tonight? Yeah, please.
Thank you. I wanted to know whether there's any warranty on the appliances, if that wasn't asked before, and on the floors and the cabinets.
Yeah. So there is a warranty that will be in place through MDG. I think it's a year for most of the things, but I'll ask that tomorrow, and I think they have like a sample warranty that might not be exactly for this project yet, but we'll share something with you in the near future. But yes, the appliances for sure, a year-long warranty. The way that we're doing the floors right with replacing, it's not a full replacement of the floor, so I'd have to talk with them a little bit about it, but.
Quiere saber sobre la garantía. Uno compra una nevera y te dan 3 años de garantía, por ejemplo. Él quería saber sobre con la nevera y estufa, que se llama appliances. Ella cree que es 1 año. No sabemos exactamente el piso, porque el piso, ella va a preguntar exactamente cuánto de garantía tiene el piso. Pues, no han dicho ese mollo, que no puede pasar.
Okay. More
So
questions?
I have a question. I have 4 questions now.
Okay. Why don't we take one and then we...
No. The thing is, go back to the minutes. the thing is the tenant in communication have been, the tenant association and you might have communicated with the rest of the tenant or the rest of the board, but the board hasn't been communicating with the tenant. So we don't have any minutes from the last year. We don't have any financial statement from the last year. We haven't had any change of scope notices since the last year, and we don't know what the new loan numbers are since the last meeting we had. The second part is I want to know what is UHAB position on Airbnb, because Curtis has been renting long time ago, and I sent an email and I haven't received any notice on that email from a year and a half. The last thing is 544 East 13th Street is a UHAB building, and that building have been had stuff done over there that we are not allowed to do, and I want to know why is that, and what is UHAB position on all those items, because this is a UHAB problem.
I didn't get that, so I
Why don't you let her read your paper so she can...
No, I want it in public now. I sent it by email with no answer.
You see, you're being defensive.
Yes, I am defensive.
Well, just relax yourself. I said, why don't you let Melly read your paper so she can translate? That's what I said. See, you got your panties in a bunch. Relax.
I mean, not to put I think the first question is not so much really a question for you, but to be honest, it seemed a little bit more like a statement than a question in regards to communication in the minutes. What was
That's for the board,
okay.
and there have been no financial statement, no change of scope work notices, basically no communication to me. I mean, I accept that piece of paper I get, but so the other thing is the minute is important because they're about accountability. And I need a written statement from the secretary.
You have two.
Again, I take minutes of board meetings, and they're available to anybody if you want to ask me for them.
Why don't you send them out?
Well, I can't send minutes out I barely get it out to these guys, never mind send it out to tenants. We're available to answer all questions. Every time we have a tenant meeting, we're talking about the things we have talked about in the board meetings. We haven't discussed, scope of work hasn't been discussed probably since the last time we had a tenant meeting here. Everything we discuss in board meetings is subsequently discussed in these tenant meetings, which we've been having once every month. So you think we're keeping secrets from you, that's not...
It's not about secret, it's about the lack of accountability. I don't say you don't keep secret or not, because I am very forthcoming into asking my question. The thing is, I get no answer. I don't get the material I need to form an opinion.
Well, the things you're focusing on may not be things we're even talking about, Theo.
Well, then you should focus on what I'm bringing up on the table.
Well,
and that's for the board to talk about it. If they don't, well...
Can I just say this? This is the first time anybody's heard you ask us about the scope of financial things. So how can we answer a question that we didn't even know the question was?
Because it's part of the normal job of being on the board.
No. What I'm asking you is, we didn't even know the question. You just asked us right now. You said you didn't get answers to a question that was never asked. When did you ask me or anybody about the financial records? You can sit there and look.
No,
No, it's my turn. Answer. When did you ever ask me about some financial records? April. Wait a minute. When did you ask me about the scope of work?
You told me last time to go talk to him.
I'm asking specific facts. When did you ask me about the scope of work?
I gave up in asking the board.
So don't say you asked the board. You just said it. Everybody did you really say it?
Yes, I did say that.
So you didn't ask the board. Thank you. Next.
That's fine by me. The next question is Airbnb position on UHAB. UHAB on Airbnb position.
You're gonna ask them right there.
What was the question again? Airbnb and UHAB. Because it seems like when I caught Curtis renting his apartment on Airbnb, I sent an email, I sent the documentation, and UHAB has not done anything, and Curtis is still on the board. So that for me is a problem, and I want to discuss it. So I've been trying to discuss it privately. Now we have to discuss it openly because you have been avoiding the question. So now I have the question.
Our position is that we will enforce the law on Airbnbs.
So what's the status?
I'm not going to discuss any individual situation with out here in public.
Why not?
But we we enforce the laws on Airbnb, it's fairly recent law, and yes, we enforce it. Next question.
So I see you haven't enforced it. No, you haven't enforced it.
Next question.
In the case of B&B, Manhattan is so popular that some people's relatives are saying, let me stay in your apartment in New York for July, and you stay in my house in Mayberry for July. Let me send my kids to New York for 2 weeks in August with the big brother to babysit, and you come down here. So B&B is taking many different forms because of money, food, and housing.
Yeah, but the point is,
So the citizens are doing whatever they need to do, and the law is kind of nebulous. If you check it, it's nebulous.
no, those are Airbnb people, and I caught 2 last week. I caught 2 last week. So, no answer on that. Fine. We're still at the same place.
You